from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 11 p.m.
Tonight, we're tracking the first storm of the season, and it's only going to get worse. We've already seen rain, lightning, and flash flooding in some areas.
Tropical Storm Rosa is bringing the wet weather into the Southland. CBS2 meteorologist Amber Lee is here now with the radar and what we could expect for tomorrow. Amber.
Hi, Peter. Hi, Suzanne. It's going to start to feel a little bit more tropical as we start the week off, and it's all because, as you mentioned, Tropical Storm Rosa. It used to be Hurricane Rosa, but now it has been downgraded to a tropical storm status as those winds continue to weaken and it gets closer to Baja, Mexico. So you can see that a lot of this energy is coming ahead of the system and the bulk of it headed over toward Arizona, but we're already starting to feel some of the effects of it over here. So earlier today, we did see some rain, especially for the lower deserts and also up in the mountains, anywhere from a quarter inch to more than 3/4 of an inch of rain. But this is just one storm system. I'll tell you about storm number 2 coming up. Back to you.
All right, Amber, thanks. Now to breaking news. A deadly small plane crash in Laverne. One person was killed, another hurt.
It happened near Brackett Airport, near the 10 freeway and the 57. CBS 2's Christy Fajardo is live at the scene. Christy.
Yes, Suzanne, it appears that the pilot was practicing approaches when something went wrong and the plane went down here in the middle of a nursery. A woman was the lone survivor, and firefighters tell us she is extremely lucky to be alive and also lucky that the plane went down just before nightfall. They say if it had already been dark, it's possible no one would have seen the plane crash. And they say with all of this vegetation, it's also possible that firefighters would not have found the wreckage until morning. Take a look. Sky 2 flew the scene. The Laverne Fire Department tells us they got the call at about 5:45. The tower at Brackett Airport reported a plane had gone down and they needed help. Police and firefighters raced out to the scene just off McKinley Avenue here in Laverne. Here, they found the wreckage of a single-engine Cessna 177. It was about a quarter mile away from the runway in the middle of the West Covina Wholesale Nursery. Firefighters say the plane did not catch fire, but the rescue was still challenging because, as you can see, the wreckage was in the middle of a field and there are only narrow roads in. Now, police will only tell us that the man who died was in his 60s. As for the woman who survived, she was taken to the hospital with what has been described as serious injuries. And now there are also other people here besides firefighters. It's not clear if they are officials with the airport, with the nursery, or perhaps investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board. That agency has now taken over the investigation. Live in Laverne, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
Christy, thanks. More breaking news. Deputies say a woman shot in Compton tonight has died. Sky 2 was over the scene earlier as several suspects were taken into custody for a shooting at a liquor store. 3 people were targeted in the attack.
A somber night in Las Vegas as the city prepares to mark the first anniversary of the mass shooting that took 58 lives. The victims were honored tonight during an interfaith service.
Many survivors and first responders shared their stories. CBS 2's Nicole Comstock is live in Las Vegas, where the community is proving they are Vegas stronger 1 year later. Nicole?
That's right, and you can only imagine how difficult it must be for people who lost their loved ones out here in the shooting 1 year ago to be back here in Vegas this weekend. But many of them say it was necessary. A solemn ceremony inside the Guardian Angel Cathedral.
We are happy that you are with us tonight.
As dozens of people forever changed by the massacre in Las Vegas shared their harrowing stories 1 year later at Dear Love, a ceremony of hope, healing, and transformation.
We fell to the ground. We huddled over our loved ones.
Among them, Mindy Scott, a Las Vegas native and survivor of the Route 91 Harvest Festival.
In between the 6 set of shots, it was not uncommon to people running between you and you lost your hand grips.
She describes the most terrifying moment of her life when she was separated from her 21-year-old daughter Brooke in the fleeing crowd and was powerless in protecting her.
And when I finally heard her voice on the phone, she told me I was with Metro. I knew she was safe.
She's pushing through the trauma of that night now to express how proud she is of her daughter's will to survive.
My daughter has a heart condition. I couldn't believe she could run that far.
Damon Schilling says his family of first responders is also finding comfort in this weekend, encouraging each other to focus on what they were able to do to help people.
You can only do so much. That not every life that we come in contact with is going to be saved, and so the ones that we're able to touch, the ones that we're able to transport, those are the ones that we need to focus on.
Many here hope that Las Vegas isn't just remembered as a city of neon lights, but a city that shined its brightest when it mattered most. And many more people are expected to be at ceremonies across the city tomorrow. Reporting live in Las Vegas, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
Nicole, thank you. Here in Southern California, a fundraiser was held to benefit the survivors of the mass shooting.
CBS 2's Brittany Hopper was in Santa Monica for tonight's event.
There's a bit of a somber mood in here, and that's because there are a lot of survivors, their family members, and friends.
A fundraiser in Santa Monica with 4 different organizations benefiting survivors of the Las Vegas mass shooting. Survivor Lisa Fine says the sounds of gunshots still wake her up nightly.
The bullets were 6 inches from our head. If we would have stood up, we wouldn't be here right now.
Fine says it's hard to believe it's been a year. October 1st marks the 1-year anniversary of the mass shooting. And these past 12 months, Fine has started a nonprofit organization called Route 91 Strong, which has raised close to $600,000 in the past year, mostly helping survivors with PTSD.
The survivors that are applying for our funds are in a really deep need of help because we've got them on suicide watch, and we've sadly had some that committed suicide.
The other organization hosting the fundraiser is the 58 Foundation, representing the 58 people who were killed. The co-founder is also a survivor.
I can't believe that it's a year, but one of the things that we organized this event for was because we didn't want the year to pass and people to forget about it.
All of the proceeds raised go to survivors for counseling, gun violence research, and community outreach programs.
We're survivors helping survivors.
Organizers say that they are expecting to raise $40,000 from tonight's fundraiser. In Santa Monica, Brittany Hopper, CBS 2 News.
Hey everyone, Chris Holmstrom here. We just got to Vegas for the 1-year anniversary of the mass shooting. Right now, we're here at the amphitheater where there will be a sunrise ceremony for the 58 victims that were lost, also their survivors. And you know, a lot of people have been talking about hashtag Vegas Strong. Well, right now it's hashtag Vegas Stronger. So coming up tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, we'll have live updates here at the sunrise ceremony, but just one of many events that's going on all across this area.
And stay with CBS 2 News. We will have a team of reporters live from Las Vegas tomorrow. Also, our Pat Harvey will be anchoring live from Las Vegas tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 11 p.m.
James, a deep 3. Got it. His first bucket is a Laker.
That's right. Finally, the King was on the court for the LA Lakers.
CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live in Burbank, where Laker fans are pumped up for preseason. Jeff.
Guys, you know, the calendar might say that it's football season, but for fans at sports bars across Southern California, it is now LeBron time.
It's been a struggle.
Genesis Lopez had her Kobe shirt on at Barney's Beanery in Burbank for what she's hoping will be a start to a return to glory for the Lakers.
I was actually at the same spot here when we won the last championship back in 2010.
James on the block.
That's because LeBron James played in a Lakers uniform for the first time.
I haven't been this excited for Lakers like for a while.
I'm a Laker fan till I came into this world, man, you know. So, you know, this is how I am, you know, every year, every season, man.
This was only a preseason game, so it doesn't really count record-wise. But the storied NBA franchise hasn't made it to the playoffs in 5 seasons.
The Lakers have been doing poorly for too long. I'm used to the Lakers winning.
I feel like he might take us, you know, to the next level where we need to go.
With the rebound.
Even with LeBron's success in the NBA isn't instantaneous. There are some growing pains for the Lakers.
So one of the things that I noticed during the game is that we missed a lot of layups. So many layups, it's like crazy. I coach youth basketball teams, they don't miss that many layups.
But hardcore fans like Genesis Lopez were still at the edge of their seats, hoping to see another title soon.
We're not right away going to jump into like being NBA champs again. I think we're definitely going to have to be patient for a while.
And LeBron played about 15 minutes tonight, which fans say is a good thing because they don't want to see him get hurt before the regular season. Live in Burbank, Jeff Nguyen, CBS2 News.
Nobody wants to see him get hurt, Jeff. That's right. Thanks. Meanwhile, the Dodgers face their biggest game of the season tomorrow. They beat the Giants today, and the Rockies also won. So the two face off tomorrow at 1 p.m. to decide who wins the NL West title and which team heads to the wild card game. Jim Hill will have much more coming up on Sports Central Sunday night.
The Supreme Court starts its fall term tomorrow with one seat empty. Coming up, new information on the FBI investigation into nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Plus,
the FBI will talk to people that won't want to talk anymore. We won't be any better off. There is a chance that that will happen.
Hear what else Senator Jeff Flake said to 60 Minutes about the investigation.
And California's governor signs the toughest net neutrality law in the country. Amber.
And I'm tracking 2 rain chances across Southern California. I will let you know when we expect everything.